Hey, it's Snacks and welcome back to my channel. So today we're making another build in the Phanteks Evolv X2 case, this time in white, and it's a custom loop. So this part is actually magnetic. I've loosened this part right over here, so I'm just gonna use this tape to take everything off. Oh, there we go. Removing the cooler and installing the water block can be a video in itself, so we're going to speed things up here a little bit. For this build, I'm pairing a 4090 Founders Edition with the 9950x3D. You need to really be careful when removing the cooler and do things in the right order and never use force to remove everything. Every piece should come off relatively easily if done right. Now, one thing you'll notice is how massive the cooler portion of a GPU is compared to the thin PCB portion. Once I got the board off of the cooler, it was time to clean up the die and memory. Alright, so I've got the board out, I've cleaned it all up, and now we could water block it. I'm looking at the manual, you guys, and it's not very good. It does tell us where to put thickest thermal pads at, but it doesn't tell us where to put the thinner ones. Barrow got back to me fairly quickly, and now I know where each thermal pad goes. Next up, installing all the pads and making sure that the correct thickness was used in the corresponding locations. Having the wrong sized pad in the wrong spot can really wreck your temps. So everything seems to be in place, but Barrow didn't give us enough thermal pads to cover these two areas right here. This one and this one. So good thing I have some putty from Thermal Grizzly, so we're just gonna use this instead. How awesome would it be if it smelled like ice cream? Because it does look like ice cream. You know, just because I'm making a video, I can't really blast some music to play in the background, but this is... People don't really understand how relaxing it is to just water block a PC component and listen to your favorite songs. It's very relaxing, especially if you just have this mindset of not rushing through it. All right, so we're done with that. Now we're just gonna put on the thermal grease and attach the card on. After removing the protective layers of the thermal pad, it was time to apply the thermal grease. For this build, I went with Thermal Grizzly's Duronaut. It's a little more stubborn to apply and more difficult to work with compared to other types of thermal paste. But it's a very premium paste that doesn't harden over time and is awesome for temps. After that, it was finally time to put on the water block. Okay, GPU water block done. So I really love this water block because it matches the whole aesthetic of the build, as you can see, and it's short. And the reason why I love it short is because it ends right here at the end of the motherboard, leaving this space completely free. GPU part is done. I've already slotted it. The GPU part is done. I've already slotted it in, and now the fun part, we're going to be planning the loop. Now, how I plan the loop is I always plan around the main idea that I have. And one of the main ideas for this case is I want to keep this part right here clear. And there's a reason for that. After talking with the awesome designers at Phanteks, I learned about how deliberate and thoughtful they were when it came to the design and look of this case. An important part of the flow and uniqueness of this design is really dependent on keeping this right side clear. So I wanted to make sure I respected that. This meant no radiator, distro, or pump in that area. So how the heck am I going to find a solution for the pump and distro? We answered that in just a bit, but for now, I did know there was only one place for the second radiator. So one of the challenges as well in this case is right here at the bottom, I can only fit a 240mm radiator. So that means I have all this space right here. So the way I'm going to solve that issue is that I'm going to have a lot of tube runs over in this area, and that'll hopefully balance out everything down here. So let's get right to it. And now back to the question of the distro and pump. You've already seen it in plain sight, so we know the placement. The real problem was creating a loop run that blends in well with the lines of the case. And the only run that I found that worked was one that had part of the loop in the back of the case. To do this, first I had to modify the distro pump and tap a hole that I drilled into it. Once the tapping is done, I went ahead and made a few adjustments and put it back together. Once that was completed, I put it back in the case and went to measuring and working on the loop. One other custom piece that's becoming kind of a hallmark of a lot of my builds are my acrylic pass-through walls. Instead of fabricating a wall out of other materials or going through walls of the case, I really love making an acrylic piece for existing openings because I can engrave it and light it up. Plus, there's a lot of flexibility on placing the tubing wherever you need. In that sense, it's like a distro plate that requires tubing on both sides without the waterway. Since I don't have a CNC machine, this is the next best thing, and in some cases complements the build even better. See it start to bend a little bit, but I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna force it. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel that bend so much more now, see? But I'm gonna keep turning it until the tube can carry its own weight. Bend number 1 is done. So the first bend is done. It's right over here. As you can see, I'm going to be making a second bend, which will be over here on this side. And it's going to create this U shape, which I will be placing this tube right underneath the GPU. Okay, first attempt, professional. Took that off. This is just my first attempt, so and it's too short by 3 millimeters. I knew that was too good to be true. Okay, let's just try one more. So I learned from my mistake on the bend placement, and I was able to get it right on the second try and got it ready for installation. The leak testing was a success and the build was technically done, but the perfectionist in me kept making me think something wasn't quite right. So I stepped away from the build for a while, and when I came back to it with fresh eyes, I realized what it needed: more rose gold. 6 light coats of a special paint and sealant combination ensured that the colors would bond and stand out, while still retaining the brushed steel look. With that, the build was finally complete.